Welcome back. I am E.I. Chiriqui Cooper, ChiVital, and I am back with some more tools for your toolkits in regards to ancestor money and offerings. We are talking about the offerings. I know it's late night. I know y'all don't all be asleep. And I could be tuning in from China right now. So it's afternoon somewhere. Okay? I wanted to come back and holler at y'all. Please don't do me like yesterday. I had such a good time. I was showing you all so many things, and I did not even know that the screen was blurry because I swear I was looking at what I'm looking at right now is crispy. So before I even take all my energy in having a good time trying to show you all certain things, please let me know. Let me know if y'all could never, if you ever hear anything wrong with my sound, if you ever see anything wrong with my background, let a sister know. You got to let me know, man. Let me see who's here. Let me shout y'all out. Turn this volume down. Let me see who's in the building. In the building. It's so funny. I don't see any of my Nagas. Oh, Joe Naga. Yes, baby. Baby. What up, brown hair mistress? Hey, every bit of Jackie. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Momi. Hi, Joisha. Hi, Hugs and Kisses Astro. That's what I'm looking at, so. Thompson's Total Wellness, LLC. There's your shout out because you got the name of your business. There you go. Trinity Morningstar. What's up, Dragon Lord? Peace, Robert Young. What's up, Remnant One? Hey. I see. I told y'all. Look, the trolls ain't back. Naga, Joe Naga, you gotta be on there. All right, you gotta get it. Okay, get him out of here, so I can just focus on taking care of sharing some information with y'all. And don't bother just deleting. Just totally block them. Okay, that's it. Okay. All right. So about last night, let's check in. Okay. Also, because I had to go on this channel to share this information, y'all go ahead and let everyone know in Discord that I'm live. So I'm gonna give y'all a minute to do that. Not a whole minute, just a few seconds. Just let everybody know in Discord that I'm live. I just was checking. I just finished checking the visuals to make sure we were straight. Y'all have no idea. You have no idea when you're doing this. Oh, let me make sure I give my cup a nice. It's my gift from my son. You see this? You a good mom. Your children give you cool gifts. But yeah, I was checking the visuals to make sure we were straight, and I forgot to let everybody know that I was gonna be going live. So if y'all could go ahead and do that, I appreciate it. Peace, Occult GPS. Peace, Nefertiti Porter. Yes, yes. I see the mushrooms, fairies, and the stars in the chat. I see the nagas in the chat. We got genies, dragons, serpents, fairies. Oh my gosh, are we just doing it all? Hey, Lovey. I see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So last night, y'all had to be the information You know, obviously the information was very straightforward. And if you take your time taking notes, there's so much there. The demonstrations, in all fairness, because I told you, well, watch the video, watch the demonstration, tell me what you gathered from the demonstrations. I don't know how much you were able to really see. So let's check in with that. For everybody who was there last night, put a 1 in the chat so I can know if I have enough of y'all here. Thank you, Moyo. Appreciate you. Okay. So when y'all watched the demonstration last night, there were 3 different ones. This is a bit of a review before I tell you about some very powerful offerings to give your ancestors during the Ancestor Money ritual. Okay? There were 3 examples of the burning process, right? So one, I showed you all how regular paper burns, right? We watched it burn. Nothing really fantastic about it, in my opinion, but were you able to see that? For the most part, while we were live, it's kind of interesting because you all were giving me feedback, and I don't know how you were able to see. And then I burned a real piece of joss paper, an authentic joss paper with the Jade Emperor on it. Okay, with all of the artwork on there. And then I burned the joss paper that had 2 signatures on it. Okay? Well, you know what? If my Naga says that y'all saw enough, that means y'all were able to see the magic. Okay. Because what you all were telling me, I was like, okay, that's why I was like so blown. I was like, you guys were giving me feedback about what you were seeing. I was like, all right, cool, bet they're seeing it. But then, you know, whatever. All right, so let's piggyback off of last night's conversation. Okay. I really wanted to hone in on these pieces of alchemy and the whole process, the ritual process, and its significance built upon your intentions. Okay? And when you all start doing this work yourselves, I feel like it was really important for you all to connect with the various stages that are involved with having this conversation via burning the paper to send to your ancestors, right? Not only that, but to emphasize on the level of ancestors that you all are looking to contact, right? Because we're raising the bar. And looking at how as above, so below is so relatable. You understand? Where we have in, for example, the joss paper with the Jade Emperor and the King of Hell, who also signs off. You have magistrates. You're looking at a courthouse. Okay? Then we moved into talking about kites. Because during this day where the popular days where the ancestors are worshipped in the Chinese traditions, You're going to see a lot of kites being flown. Okay? And so for you all, this process of burning the ancestor money, and if you were to incorporate the ritual of including a kite, a physical kite, not like your regular kite, like you can make one out of paper for yourself, not the plastic or what is it, the nylon material, because you want it to last forever or fly the best. Okay? If you were to do that, you will see how this burning ritual, although it appears like is really doing something solely for your ancestors, there is a process where you are letting go. Okay? There is a process of creating more freedom for yourself. So write that down as a particular nuance in the ritual. You're sending this message, and most times when you're sending these messages to your ancestors, there's something that is going on in your earthly existence that you have such a heavy attachment to, or it's like a heavy burden that you really need resolved. And when you do this process, you are letting it go. Okay? Now, for some of you, you may be in the process of grieving. You're early on in this ancestral worship practice. Okay? And you're now having an opportunity to communicate something. So let's talk about what you're communicating. If you are still feeling heavy with certain emotions and you don't want to get wrapped up in an emotional healing trip, write as much as you possibly can on some of your joss paper. Okay? And you're going to do this in preparation. So this is not something that you want to be doing while you are, for example, for some of y'all are going to incorporate plant medicine. Don't take the plant medicine and then decide after the plant medicine works through your system and you are now tapped in to start writing what you want to write to your ancestors. Don't do that. It's really important that you do these steps of, tonight I'm going to talk about rolling, okay? Rolling and folding, okay? It's important that you write what you need to write before you start your ritual. It's important that you fold and roll everything before you start the ritual process of taking any plant medicine. Have everything already done. The thing about this is that when you write on your joss paper and you're burning it to the ancestors, there's a process of folding and rolling the paper so that whatever you've written is no longer visible to yourself. You understand? You'll have your joss paper and you're going to write on the inside your message to a particular ancestor by name. And you're going to roll it up and tuck in the sides. And you're never going to see that message again. Understood? When you do that, the moment you set fire to that particular piece of joss paper, you have now let it go. It is already changed forever. It's burnt. It's now gone. It's out of your hands. It's above you now. As the smoke rises, it is above you now. Okay? When it comes to the rolling of the joss paper, there's something I'm adding to this for you all. But it doesn't matter like how you're rolling it. Towards yourself, away from yourself. That part is however you are most comfortable with rolling it. I'm gonna actually I'll put things back on the altar. I'll get a piece for y'all. Y'all know I move around, I don't mind, and I will show you. But good question, Divine Alchemy. It doesn't matter how you roll the joss paper. Now, just for your information, the reason why traditionally the joss paper itself is rolled and tucked in a certain way is because the currency, okay, on the other side is thought to be in the way of gold bars, gold. All right? And again, the gold is more so connected to the higher ancestors, the venerated ancestors, the gods, the goddesses, the deities. So consider that in your mind, that you don't want to focus too much on, in this ritual, you don't want to focus too much on ancestors that have not really made any moves. You know, they haven't really left any real blueprint for the family or some type of legacy. All right, you have an ancestor shrine. You know, that's where you can do your regular offerings and candles. But when you get to start writing these notes out and reaching out to send a kite because you need things to move a certain way, here, focusing on your money, you want to make sure that you're very specific, because the ones who control the money, they also control how things get moved around. Okay? Now, one of the mediums that is connected to higher levels in society and being more sociable, it's like an exchange that makes sense here on earth and in the heavens, right? Although you may not smoke cigarettes, you want to look at the power behind tobacco being added to this particular ritual. Like, how many of y'all have watched how intensely cigarettes are smoked in this culture? And we realize that tobacco is a universal plant that is exchanged for like money. Okay? A gift of tobacco, either in the form of a cigarette or a package of really premium tobacco, puts you in a position, one, it shows that you know how to roll in higher society and the kinds of gifts that have the energy of wanting to have a more favorable exchange. Okay? There's certain rooms that if you walk into them empty-handed, you already are locked out of certain doors. That makes sense? And so when you're going into this realm, you're not only sending this joss paper to your ancestors, but remember that these notes, these requests have to go through a couple of different hands that manage getting this wealth and these notes out to these particular ancestors. So how do you ensure that the message that you're sending gets received? You're going to have to grease a couple of palms. You feel me? Gifts. And one of the best gifts to go with ancestor money is tobacco. They're going to come running. Remnant one said, tips the man. Exactly. So all that little rolling that y'all be doing, you're going to have a whole nother level of connection with the ritual by putting it in there. And I'm not telling y'all to don't get no cheap stuff. All right, let me see. First of all, let me get you an example of the joss paper. Some of these comments are so dumb. I'll be right back. Now, once again, I'm sharing with you something that no one's gonna show you. Okay? First of all, I don't think most of the people who are coming at y'all about ancestor money even do this work on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? They just do this when it's popular, when they just do this when, you know, they trying to act like they know something. I've seen some incredible things. I've had some incredible conversations. And I love the fact that you all are able to participate. I say that. So when it comes to the ancestor money, all right, this is the joss paper. And you roll it like this, okay? Y'all saw that? So this doesn't have to be all tight. Once you have it like a cylinder, you just tuck in the edges. So, thank you, esoteric. That's all right. So, you have your gold bar like this, okay? And you're just gonna put your bundles, all right? Put your bundles all around your cauldron, okay? I'm about to show y'all now. Hold on. So this is your gold offerings. Y'all see this? Premium, Premier Select, full flavor tobacco. Y'all see that? Is it backwards? Oh, y'all see it straight. Okay. Premium tobacco, not some cheap stuff. Okay. Now, here's your dollar. Okay. You're not writing on this side. Okay. You're writing on this inside. Okay. Write the name of the ancestor that you're sending this to. All right. And you notice that the Jade Emperor's imprint is already in here. Now, what I love about y'all is that you have been practicing writing the Jade Emperor's name, and you can write that on the inside of this. This is marked already with good luck, longevity. This is longevity, all right? Prosperity, good fortune. It's already on there. On the inside, you want to write the Jade Emperor's name. Like, write it there, because you want him to get it. And you're going to write the name of your ancestor, who you write into, what this money is for. Now listen, somebody asked about the houses and the cell phones and the paper, the joss paper that's in the shapes of, or just the pictures of the different items that people can use in the ancestral realm. That's a real thing, okay? And I do agree with Baba T that y'all should just focus on this portion first. All right, I'll talk to you about it. So yes, on the inside, you put in your message. Now, don't judge my role game, okay? But you will put this tobacco on the inside on your message. And you don't have to do it for every single message. But I would suggest the messages that are concerning your business. Okay? Okay? Your business and your money goals, that you put a little gift in there for them. Especially the ones that you know smoke cigarettes. Alright? This is a fat cigarette blunt. Put that with your stuff, okay? Now, I know a lot of y'all are way better than me in rolling. But yeah. Now, somebody also mentioned licking a joss paper, and there's where you lick it. You know what I mean? And what's the whole thing behind licking your paper? Yeah, I think that's like self-explanatory. Because how else do you, if you get an ancestor kit to find out where your bloodline comes from, what do they use? Swab. It's your DNA. That's more official than you writing the name that you were given. You know what I'm saying? You could change your name 1,000 times, but that saliva is not going to change. And that saliva is connected all the way back to the original ancestors. So there's where you incorporate your saliva. Anyone who's not watching this is never going to know and understand that that's a real thing. The solar moon said she or he. It looks like it's the lady picture. I can definitely hear the difference between the sound of my joss paper and yours. I would love to know what that sounds like. All right. So again, we have this connection again. When you're putting money, and I know this, I don't mean to assume that anyone has this information, like the experience of sending money and putting money on, what is a concession, right? Sending items to prison. But cigarettes are a big deal. And they continue to be a big deal, both here and in the spirit realm. There's not a practitioner of spiritism or spirituality that does not have some tobacco for their ancestors or for their guides. There's a reason for that. Tobacco is an ultimate conduit, commissary. It's commissary, not a creed. It's a serious conduit between the other realms, the nature spirits, and here on earth. That's why there needs to be a lot of respect for the spirit of tobacco, because it keeps us in communication. It's also meant, now the tobacco that is manufactured for mass population to smoke down obviously is not, it's not as harmonious health wise, right? But traditionally, and even still, while it has all the extra poisons in it, it definitely brings people together in the spirit of communication. Okay? It brings the spirits as a very strong, it's a very strong calling card that you're working with the spirit realm. And the way that the Asians love the tobacco and have it as a social etiquette to even give as a gift in social settings, those ancestors are going to respond. You're giving money and tobacco. Okay? Money and tobacco. So whatever it is that they're needing, they are not only are experiencing pleasure, because smoking tobacco brings a lot of pleasure. That's why you see people just like, here, like imagine you on the other side and you get somebody send you some tobacco, send you some cigarettes. You're like, and some of you are going to be putting messages like that to your ancestors. Please, if you're smart, you could be asking for money all day. But please send me some pleasure. Send me some good pleasure in my life. Okay? Send me that pleasure. That give me the peace of mind. Because when you start to see that money come in, you need that peace of mind. You want to be surrounded by circumstances that are pleasurable. So, because your money itself is not going to amount to anything if you can't really have the kind of pleasurable, satisfying experiences around the money. And that tobacco speaks to that. Okay? It's something that is smokable and can go very quickly to your ancestors. It's very fast. It's faster than the food that you put down. Okay? It transforms into the very essence that the ghosts, the spirits, and those other deities actually exist in. Now let's talk about one of the most important foods that you're going to put down for your ancestor ritual when it comes to burning this joss paper. It's back to that rice. That rice is absolutely connected to wealth. Did you all know that China was the top producer of tobacco in the world? Just want to circle back for a second. Did y'all know that? Like, China produces like 40% of all of the tobacco in the world. So when I'm telling you that tobacco is a very prestigious gift, it's to say, like, you know, I'm up here. I'm upper echelon. Like, I have access to the best of the best. This is something that is creating legacy, generational wealth for those ancestors. Okay? So then we get to rice. Rice represents infinite wealth and abundance. You can't even count the grains of rice. It's not the kind of offering, and yes, cooked rice. This is cooked rice. You want to give cooked rice to your ancestors when it's warm. The fragrance, right? Use fragrant rice, jasmine rice, saffron rice. These fragrances is what they're going to consume. Rice also gives them a hearty power to do certain work here on earth. It helps them to materialize more in their ghostly spirit form. It helps them be able to travel, because it takes energy for them to travel here and there. It's not a short trip, even though it appears to be, because from one instance you can be doing a ritual and the next you see your dearly departed. But it's not a short trip. It requires a lot of energy. You can see that visibly even with the amount of energy that it takes from a medium to speak on behalf of an ancestor. That energy to stay in the body, to communicate, to embody, takes energy. So you feed them so they can be able to communicate as embodied as possible. So they can communicate as clearly as possible. That makes sense? Okay. Okay. Cool. Now, if y'all wondering why Mother's up at this time of night talking to y'all about ancestor money, it was snowing today. And the snow puts me out. So I fell asleep and I woke up just like this. And was like, oh, yeah, let me share with them this information. I literally just got up like an hour ago. But yes, all right. So questions, cool. Any sense or just the two that I just named? As far as the rice, rice is, you got the jasmine rice and saffron rice is it. Like, that's all you need. If you want to get fancy, you know, you can make you some coconut sticky rice, but it's really not necessary. It's not necessary. Because trust me, maybe to you, when I say you, not you personally, but to you, the person, the smell of the rice might not be as strong. However, when you want to experience what it's like to be a spirit and what they feel when you put food down for them, fast, right? Fast for 3 days, straight water. Straight water. Like for a week, don't eat any meat at all. Just straight veggies. No fish, no eggs, no dairy. Just straight veggies, fruits, veggies. And then for 3 days, just water. If you do that before you're doing an ancestor money right, you're literally going to feel yourself eating just by smelling the food. And you will feel like your belly is getting full. See, Moyo knows. Everybody who's prepared like for ceremony, they have experienced it. They're like, yo, I smell food and I felt like I ate a plate. Because you get to experience what that astral body really feeds off of. And it's really the energy. There's a whole lot of energy in a fragrance. In a fragrance are like the small little bacteria. They're like, let's see, what's the scientific name for the fragrance? What? Somebody look it up. Let's see. What are the particles that make fragrance called? No, not the aroma. There's a scientific name. Aroma is a word, right? But literally, like, there's certain smells in the air, that not the air, in the air, that are alive. Okay? The good ones have their own smell, the bad ones have their own smell. So the whole notion of like spraying Lysol when there's a bad smell in the air is because there are molecules of this energy that is stink and can cause illness, right? And on the flip side, there are these molecules that have a fragrance that can cause peace, that can cause joy, that can cause bliss. Okay? That same thing is like for human beings, the smell that comes off of us are the pheromones. But like the food, it has its own fragrances that you pick up on and can actually it adds something to you. You take it in. Okay? So I'm just saying that although it's light and it's invisible, it still has a weight to it. That's the point I'm making. Tomorrow, if I'm breastfeeding and can't fast for 3 days, is there something else I can do instead? You know, when you're breastfeeding, no, I don't suggest you fast. So I agree with that advice. And because you are breastfeeding, your hormones have it where your nose is very, very sensitive, and you will be able to have that experience where you can smell the fragrance of the foods that you offer to your ancestors and still experience it as if you were eating the food yourself. Because you don't have to fast in order to do the Ancestor Money ritual. Okay? Y'all gonna help me with these words. Let me see. Odorant. Where's my Tahuti F.A.Y? She's doing her work. Odorant molecules. Let's see, definition. Odorant molecules are volatile organic compounds that cause smells. They are detected by the olfactory system in the nose, which can distinguish between thousands of different odors. Yeah. Yep. and they do have a weight to them. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna read that. I like that stuff. Oh, is it? Cool. It's giving a little fairy realm. So in preparation, write your list of ancestors that you want to send your messages to. Get some fresh red pens. The color red in this tradition is good luck. Okay, it's auspicious, it's really good luck. So get you a pack of virgin red pens so that you can write on the inside of your joss paper. And you can have these red pens already on your setup where you are writing to the Jade Emperor. And you're connecting with the element of fire. Okay? Any other questions? Big pens and big lighters. Where's my big at? That's right. Oh, hold up. Hold up. Girl, you ain't never lie. Look at me. Big, baby. Big. Holla at me. I always have issues with pens, but I never have issue with my big pen. Okay? My big lighter. They don't ever let me down. Whenever I see these, I be like, you know, when you go into a doctor's office or into the bank, I'll be like, can I have this pen? Because I buy some fancy pens and they just don't work, man. Let me see. They don't be working. Yeah, I ain't even gonna play them right now. But these joints, these were the ones you were sitting in class and your teacher be like, can you please stop with the pen? He'd be like, okay. Mermaid K, I see you. I see you. I see you. Yes, we need to thank, okay? Y'all see my flame? We need to thank all of the employees at BIC for all of your hard work. Thank you to the marketing and the quality control section, because y'all make some timeless, sturdy materials, okay? I could throw this pen and it's not gonna break. It's still gonna work, okay? They've been around my whole life and they still fantastic. Okay. What's the best way to dispose of what's left over after doing rituals? I've been throwing it in the trash. Okay, so rule of thumb, if you don't get an answer sometimes immediately when it comes to rituals, when you're doing ancestor rituals, okay, if you have any food sources, yes, candles and all that, you can put that in the garbage. If you have access to outside, I always am going to tell you to take whatever food items you can and just put it in the dirt. Okay? Because you want to feed the earth as much as you can. Because there's a thing about feeding the earth that helps to sustain what you are asking for. It includes the very planet that holds you up so you can experience the manifestation of your petitions being answered. So you return it to the earth. It came from the earth for you to be able to do the ritual, return it to the earth. The only time you really, really want to be careful with putting any of your ritual remnants in the trash is if you're doing any type of removal work. Okay? Like you're doing either some kind of hex removal, or you're doing any kind of cursing of someone, you don't want to put that in your trash, because you would be putting that energy back into your home. You want to take that joint all the way over yonder. Drop it off into a place where you're not going to be passing back and forth in front of it. Okay? Okay, Technique Twin, your question is, Baba said by connecting more with the ancestral work, you get to gain more personal magical ability development. Can you elaborate on a bit more of what he meant by that? Yes, of course. Each of you have ancestors that are in some way highly spiritual, or else you would not be here. You did not just decide to be the only one after 1,000 years. No. Most of you are not even more than one generation removed from a person that everyone knows was doing something spiritual. Okay? And with that, you'll be able to develop directly from your line particular gifts that you come with. All right? The practice of connecting with your ancestors is a level 1 training in mediumship. Write that down. It's very, very highly necessary before you can even tap into other things in a very skillful way. Working with your ancestors and getting more clearer about how they communicate develops their power to also protect you from other energies that may want to start communicating or working through you. So when you start delving into other bits of spirituality where you want to make contact with other spirits, you will already be showing up with a squad that you're familiar with. So if anything is trying to jump in, they can veto it. And this is a part of your developing a security system. that only belongs to you, that nobody else has power over. They work for you. So when you're out in the world and you're just living your best life and someone is trying to pull the wool over your eyes, this development, one of the most important magical developments, is being able to see through those types of engagements because it keeps you safe. It gives you space to navigate and make choices that are more discerning. People all want discernment. Like, discernment is a big deal. But discernment is a spiritual gift. It's not a psychological gift. It's not an educational intelligence. It is a spiritual gift. Discernment is a spiritual gift. True discernment. Thank you for that. It seems like it's also a more advanced, initiated way to do ancestral work that we don't know, but should only be working with. And if so, how do we find out about that? Work with your ancestors. A lot of y'all keep talking about initiation, initiation, initiation. Yes, there is an aspect of yourself of wanting to choose a particular initiation. But there's certain access to initiations that are only open to you because your ancestors are bringing it to you. So that moment that you are at the door of initiation, you first have to thank your ancestors for lining that up for you. There's so many initiations that people go for, try to pay for, and the only time there's an authentic initiation is when the ancestors of that individual, along with their Ori, their divine consciousness, their soul aligns with it. That's where you will find out what magical system you should really be in. And yes, there are multiple magical systems, especially because we come from such a colorful background. Alright? I keep my altars in a bookshelf, but when doing a ritual, I do it at my desk right next to the bookshelf. After I'm done with my ritual, I move everything back to the bookshelf. Is that fine? Yep, that's perfectly fine. That whole vicinity around your bookshelf is a portal. And the more that you are keeping that going, is the easier it is where you'll reach levels where you can just pull a candle, put it down on your desk, and you won't even have to bring all your materials over to the table. Trust me, over time it will be that way, and you will get all the results that you need. All right, let me see. Let me scroll. What about ancestors who were gamblers and played numbers but were not wealthy? Include them or not? If they were gamblers and played numbers but they were not wealthy, they were losing the game, yeah? Like, I'm listening to how to address this. Let me clarify. When you say they were not wealthy, does that mean they weren't rich, but they were able to sustain themselves on gambling? Or they continued to throw their money into gambling, hoping that that would be the way that they would get rich? Let's clarify that. Because if you know, um, they can be something very intranquil about a gambling spirit that's always losing. They can come with an energy of laziness, procrastination, and addiction. And what they don't need you to do is give them more money to burn. What they need you to do is give them light and to know that they don't have access to your money. They need discipline. You can work with a higher being that is excellent in regards to gambling and numbers instead of them, if that's what you're interested in. And so, for that reason, I would skip over them if they're a loser in gambling, and I would reach out to an energy that is masterful in the art of pulling numbers. Does that answer your question, Divine Alchemy? Should we read our writing out loud? Is it our intention or manifestation we are writing down on the paper? Is it our intention or manifestation? I would believe your intention comes before the manifestation. Okay? And yes, everything that you write down on your joss paper, you're going to read it out loud before you wrap it up. Because once you wrap it up, that's it. Okay? So yeah. Let me read this. It was recently revealed to me that I have an ancestor who has an entire college named after him and is a huge inspiration for many people. It was by a random trip and I even got to see his statue. Ashe. Definitely want to send them a kite to get things shaking for you. You may need that inspiration to establish your own legacy. If, when you're working with the Ancestor Money ritual and the focus is wealth, if the person was able to tap into wealth without being, let's see, you want to know what your moral code is. I don't know if y'all talked about that. But you want to know what your moral code is. Okay? Now, I can't give you my moral code. I know that if there are some people who are legitimately alcoholics, but they didn't cause any harm to anyone. You know what I'm saying? So just the title of alcoholic is, you know, someone who loves to drink themselves some alcohol. But if they didn't cause any harm to anyone and they also was getting to that bag, send them some alcohol too. Because that's just something that was their vice for tapping into how they got that wealth. Because I have family who has passed on, and according to the amount of alcohol they drink in a day, every day, they're an alcoholic. But they're incredibly, incredibly creative, incredibly kind-hearted. So that ain't a thing. And I'm going to put some beer and a shot down for them. All right? Violent alcoholics who beat their children and women and cause havoc, they're not getting a ashe. Okay? No, thank you. Since these lessons have been advancing for some months now, I started feeling like our ancestors were communicating with you and Baba too. Y'all passion has also got stronger too. Thank you for what y'all do. Thank you. Thank you. Your appreciation is appreciated. Somebody, one of the wrenches, tell Remnant One how to join Discord. Y'all know it by now. Text the Occult College number at 917-426-1192. Somebody put the number in the chat. All right. I'm done reading y'all for tonight. If the number's not in the description box below, it'll be there. Okay, and this video is going to be added to the playlist for over at the Occult College. Yes, make sure you text and follow the instructions to a T, y'all. If it says to send your picture, an email, or whatever, screenshot of your payment, do it just like that, and it'll be a smooth process. Okay? We're going to have a good time with this. We're going to have a really good time with this. Because the Jade Emperor is a dope energy. And no matter who y'all tap in with, it is like a whole homecoming when you connect with your ancestors and they start really making things shake for you. Okay? All right, y'all. Good night. Much love. I will see you all in a few hours. Enjoy this live. Take good notes. And we'll see you again soon. Peace.